Hey everybody, good morning. It's Brad and Jeff, and Bobbi Jo is here from United Healthcare. And let me get started with the presentation. We're gonna wait a few minutes to let people filter in. So I'll just leave this slide up. We're gonna discuss United Health One and not United Healthcare ACA. It's United Health One, the old golden rule. And today's discussion will involve dental, short-term, and indemnity. And maybe not in that order, but um, uh, so let's leave this up here for a little bit and then go to the next slide. Say hello, Brad.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on this sunny day in Ohio.
Yeah, very, very
Uh,
sunny day, very warm day.
you'll, yeah,
And of course, everybody knows the drill. If you've got a question, you're going to put it in the question box. And I jump in the middle of the presentation. Brad does as well, and we will pose questions um, during the presentation and also at the end of the presentation. And I'm going to kick it to Brad, talk about the dynamic duo
oh,
of the individual
wow.
market here.
Dynamic. I just think I'm tired, but that's
Really?
okay. Yeah, it's just getting all of our brokers ready. So,
I know
everybody
it.
will have some good stuff to be sending out to you shortly, but it's all about Bobbi Jo Massey. She's a really awesome partner. She keeps us informed every week. Maybe she's a really good sales manager. I'm thinking she is. Anyway, um, we're really happy to work with Bobbi Jo, and United Health One offers some really great products that you should definitely be bringing up the conversation every time you're in front of a client in person, virtually, over the phone, because it helps protect their finances, right? It's kind of like you're being a fiduciary, as the one commercial from that one company always talks about. So you have their best interest, their finances in mind. That's why you put them on the health plan that you do. So how about giving it an extra layer of skin to protect them? So Bobbi Jo, the floor is yours, my dear. Take it away.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so
Yeah,
very much. I
you're
greatly
welcome.
appreciate it. It is not allowing me to share my screen. So do you have to
Jeff, you probably,
head controls
let
over
me
to me?
see. Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
Jeff's doing it.
Got it. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Jeff and Brad and everybody at Cornerstone for giving me the opportunity to be here. I know it's perfect timing, right? We're in the middle of open enrollment. So wanted to talk about some potential options for consumers. And today, that bigger focus of our presentation will be on the fixed indemnity product, Health Protector Guard. We know ACA is geared towards the sick and subsidized, right? Sick because it's guarantee issued, subsidized to help those individuals, premium subsidized wise. But there are consumers out there that are not subsidized and are somewhat healthy that may be looking for another option. So let's get started. But first and foremost, as Brad and Jeff said, my name is Bobbi Jo Massey. I'm the National FMO Account Executive here at United Healthcare. So I want to quickly talk, though, about short term and where that still fits in the market. So this was the product that was the go-to in the past for those non-subsidized or somewhat healthy individuals looking for a lower cost alternative to ACA. However, that has recently changed. As many of you should be aware, the short term is now max duration of 4 months, 3+1. That started as of September 1. So with that, it really moved this product into a gap coverage or smaller duration of time option to consumers, since a client can only have 4 months with a given carrier in a rolling 12-month time period. So short term is no longer suggested for a long haul. For shorter durations, it would be great to bridge the gap to ACA open enrollment if it's 4 months or less, or they're between jobs from group to group, or a client moves to an employer and has a 30, 60, 90-day wait in order to get on employer coverage, or it could be 4 months or less to bridge them to Medicare age. So just remember that short term, with it being 4 months max duration with a given carrier in a rolling 12-month time period, really is for smaller gaps in time now. With that said, though, then it leads us into today's focus, which is Health Protector Guard, right? With change becomes opportunity. And our opportunity really comes to us as we look at this Health Protector Guard plan. And it's important that we make sure clients understand what the plan is and what the plan isn't. So Health Protector Guard plans are not ACA compliant. They're not major medical coverage. They don't cover all of the 10 essential health benefits, and they're medically underwritten. So very similar to what short-term was. Rather, Health Protector Guard is supplemental coverage. It pays fixed benefits with no deductible. Yes, no deductible means that there is first dollar coverage. It's available all year round. All of our products are available all year round. We don't deal with open enrollment periods. And then the beauty of Health Protector Guard is once the product is in place, it is guaranteed renewable up to age 65. So here's a look at some very basic information. The primary and spouse must be 18 to 64 in 11 months. Dependents can stay on their parent's plan up to age 26 in most states, and we do not do any child-only plans. There is an initial 12-month rate guarantee. Initial rates are based on attained age, state, plan, gender, and tobacco. After that first year, there's approximately a 2% rate increase for attained age every year. I will tell you this, Health Protector Guard, since inception, has not had a rate increase at all based on experience. Pre-existing conditions have a 12-month wait. There is also a 30-day wait for preventive care, and then clients do have a 10-day free look period. Our portfolio can be overwhelming. Here's a quick look at the 12 possible benefit combinations. So a needs-based sales approach is recommended. The word in the plan name, choice, select, preferred, premier, that indicates the level of critical medical coverage. And choice is the lowest, premier is the richest. And then your 1, 2, 3 is your level of works. Works meaning W for wellness, O for office visits, RX for prescriptions. 1 is the lowest, 3 is the highest. So just to kind of simplify that offering for you and kind of point you in maybe a direction, I just wanted to share with you the best sellers, because 12 options can be very overwhelming. Our best seller is the choice one, and that is typically, it's the lowest price option. That's typically for a client purchasing the plan alongside of ACA. And then your Premier 3, which is our richest plan, is typically sold for a client who doesn't have access to ACA. So when we go through the plan grids, I'm really going to focus on these two options. Choice 1 alongside of ACA, Premier 3, those who do not have access to ACA. The plans have a 2 million calendar year maximum per person and a 5 million lifetime maximum per person. So in the brochure, your clients will see the 2 steps that they've got to do, right? Step 1, they're choosing that critical medical services, the choice, select, preferred, or premier. And then in the next page in the brochure, we'll show them their step 2, and that would be choosing their level of works, wellness, office visits, and prescriptions, 1, 2, and 3. So let's go through the actual plan grid that is taken right out of your product brochure. So if it's really hard to read, you can go ahead and grab this from your broker portal in the brochure. But remember what I said earlier, choice, that low-end product, is primarily sold alongside of ACA, and Premier is for those who don't have access today to ACA. So those are our 2 best sellers. Couple things to point out here is that first, when they go inpatient, they're going to have a hospital admission benefit. Choice is $1,000 a day, Premier is $3,000 a day. After that, then they're going to have their hospital confinement benefit. Choice is $1,000, years 2 and beyond is $2,000, and Premier is $5,000 a day in the hospital, years 2 and beyond, $10,000 a day. Now, this is important to understand that this also includes observation over 24 hours. And then the ICU and critical care, that pays out in addition to their inpatient hospital confinement. So if a client was in ICU, just to gravitate your eyes to the far right, and they were on the Premier plan in year 1, they're going to get $5,000 a day because they're in ICU or critical care, but they're also going to get $5,000 a day because they're in the hospital. So it's important to point out that, and then, like we had said, these are fixed benefits. So a set dollar amount pays out for set services, regardless of other insurance, regardless of the actual billed amount. And then you'll have some situations where it may have some allowed max days per calendar year. You're also going to see emergency room. You've got ground and water ambulance. You've got air ambulance. And then at the very bottom, you'll see the surgery benefit. And we'll touch on that here in just a moment. But then there's the outpatient facility benefit, right? More often, surgeries are performed outpatient. So choice would be $1,000 per day. Premier would be $2,500 per day. And then in addition to that, there is the lab. You'll also see X-ray, diagnostic imaging, and then your higher end imaging, things like your MRIs, PET scans, CAT scans. Choice is $250 per test. Premier is $500 per test. And then at the very bottom is your oral chemotherapy. It's $1,000 per month, maximum of 3 months per person per calendar year. And then you're also going to see your outpatient chemotherapy, radiation, and that's either $1,000 or $2,000 per day, depending on plan, 20 to 40 days per person per calendar year. And these are calendar year benefits per person. And then the surgery benefit, as we kind of outlined before, it works off of a tier 7 schedule. So what you'll see is choice, it will be $250 to $25,000, depending on the tier. And this is, again, in your product brochure. Premier, as well as select and preferred, these last 3 plans are identical on the surgery schedule. So it's going to be $500 to $50,000, depending on the tier of surgery that they're having done. Now, in addition to the surgery amount, it is important to point out below that if there is an assistant surgeon involved or anesthesiologist involved, it pays out in addition to. And it's a percentage of whatever their surgery amount is. So the example that I had outlined is in the Premier plan. Tier 1 surgery is $50,000 that will pay out. But we also have to pay out 20% of that, which is $10,000 more for the assistant surgeon, and then 30% more of that, which would be $15,000 for the anesthesiologist. So now that tier 1 surgery is essentially paying out $75,000. Obviously, they probably, at that situation, they're likely in the hospital. So they're also going to probably have inpatient hospital confinement that's going to be paid out as well. So that's important to point out how that plan pays out those critical medical services. After they choose their choice all the way up to Premier, their critical medical services, remember step 2 was choosing their level of works, which is their wellness, office visits, and prescriptions, 1 all the way up to 3. As you saw, choice 1, so 1 was the one that was typically sold alongside of ACA. And then the 2, 3, 4, 5 bestsellers were using level 3. I personally recommend level 3 if at all possible. Just to point out too, when we talk about wellness, there is that 30-day wait period. So what you're going to see here now is the wellness, the physical that they get, $80 on choice or $125 on, not on choice, $80 on level 1, $125 on level 3, but you're also going to see their lab, preventive X-ray, $25 for an adult flu shot, $25 for childhood immunizations and flu shot. Allergy treatments, $10 per treatment. Bone density, that is only on level 3. And then you're going to see some of these plans will have, like you see here, for mammogram, pap smear, and PSA testing. You're going to see year 1 and then year 2, and that's because that benefit increases over time. So for example, if the client was on level 3 for a mammogram, $150 in year 1, and then years 2 and beyond is $225. So you're going to see some ramped benefits, and that helps with client persistency. At the bottom, you're going to see EKG and stress EKG only on levels 3. And then your colonoscopy level 1, $300, level 3, $500. That was just the wellness. Then in addition to that is their office visits and prescriptions. So you're going to see the amount of office visits they get, doctor office visits, urgent care. You'll see the dollar amount that's paid out, the amount of visits allowed. You'll see in year 1, 4 to 6 visits per person per calendar year. And then years 2, it jumps up to 6 to 8 visits per person per calendar year. Then you've got therapy. This will be for chiropractor, which I know is an important one. Physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. You'll see that is only available on levels 2 and 3. And then you've got your prescription fills at the very bottom. Amount of fills will increase in years 2 and beyond. And then you'll see the amount that we pay out for name brand and generic. The customer also gets Optum Perks discounts with this plan, and our Optum Perks discounts average 30 to 80% off. Now, the thing I always want to point out with this plan is it is a PPO, Health Protector Guard is a PPO fixed indemnity plan. So they can see whomever they want, whenever they want, nationwide. However, it is advantageous to the consumer to use the UnitedHealthcare PPO network just because we have such buying power with that network. So we can help greatly reduce their costs through our network discounts. So our average discount on the UnitedHealthcare Choice Plus network is about 58%. That's powerful. It used to be 56% and it increased to 58%. So that really is the secret sauce for UnitedHealthcare and really what sets us apart in the industry on our core medical options. The network is the largest in the nation. It's over 7,000 hospitals and 1.8 million physicians from coast to coast. So in-network providers will not charge more than that network negotiated price. I highly recommend they try to use this so that way we can discount those services down as much as possible before the Health Protector Guard plan then pays out. To make the most of the client's dollars, I also encourage that they shop their providers for best price. Their provider search tool has an indicator that will allow for them to see if they are above pricing, average pricing, or below pricing, or below average. So above average, average, or below average. You're going to want those that are, going to give them the best bang for their buck. Keep their price down as low as we possibly can. So when we do pay out on the Health Protector Guard, it's a win for the consumer. The client also has a cost estimator tool, which I love. I use this. I'm on UnitedHealthcare's plan. I had a neck surgery 4 years ago, and I use this to figure out which provider I wanted to use, which facility I wanted to use to keep my pricing down as much as I possibly could. So this helps them to determine who and where to go get services rendered for best price. The one thing I have found for surgery is your consumers would be better off to use a outpatient or surgical center versus a hospital when having surgeries done, if at all possible, right? Sometimes they don't have the luxury of choosing, but then they do. Surgery centers would be more beneficial to the consumer than a hospital. So as I mentioned earlier, there is underwriting with these products, and so height and weight does play an important role. This build chart is in your producer guide, which is in your broker portal, and it'll provide for you who is allowed to be on the plan due to height and weight. And then in addition to that, on page 10 in your producer guide will be some auto declinable conditions. So very significant things. We're looking back 5 years. Very significant items. These individuals who would be on this auto declinable list, they really should be on an ACA plan anyway. And then page 11 does also have some additional auto decline conditions. So now that you're familiar with what Health Protector Guard is and isn't, let's take a look at how you can position this coverage to your clients. I always suggest a needs-based selling approach. Our most successful agents position this product in 4 basic ways. First, it's an ancillary wraparound, or it can complement an ACA plan. Many times an ACA plan could be an HMO or EPO network. It could be geographically based or state-based, and they may need something that's wider range, right? A network that's nationwide. So this can be a great wraparound product to their ACA plan. Second is for clients just needing expanded provider network access. Third is for clients without a qualifying life event in need of coverage outside of open enrollment. And then fourth is for clients that aren't interested in ACA. The example would be for those clients income over the 400% of the federal poverty level that aren't eligible for a premium subsidy and they're somewhat healthy. I always recommend, though, when leveraging this product, to consider wrapping some critical illness or accident coverage around it just to best protect your client. And this is something we'll talk about here in just a moment. So here's all the value propositions, a lot of them, right? So here is just to remember, that it uses the UnitedHealthcare PPO network, averages 58% discount. It's fixed benefits that can be used to reduce or potentially eliminate out-of-pocket exposure. There are no deductibles, no co-insurance, no co-pays. So it's fixed benefits regardless of other insurance, first dollar. All plans have that 7-tier surgery schedule. They're fixed benefits for both wellness and office visits. All of the Health Protector Guard plans come with unlimited, zero-cost video visits or teledoc visits through Healthiest You. And in addition to benefits for both the name and generic brand drugs, the plan also comes with that Optum Perks. Our Optum Perks discounts average 30 to 80% off. And then, as I mentioned, there are some benefits that increase in calendar year 2 and beyond to help with client persistency. And lastly is MedSense, a post-claims negotiation service. So if by chance, after the client has all of the benefits paid out from Health Protector Guard and they still have, say, example, $3,000 left of out-of-pocket exposure, they would want to reach out to MedSense. MedSense will go ahead and help negotiate that claim down as much as we possibly can. So I want to kind of walk through some claims examples with you, keeping in mind that Health Protector Guard is fixed benefits. Our example here is just using Mary. She was on a choice. So what I did is I went to claims and asked them for some specific claims to our clients that we've had on the books. Now, obviously, I can't use their names, so we've changed her name to Mary. And this client was on the Choice 2 plan, so lowest in critical medical services, middle of the road for works. And that's important to know because the benefits really make a difference on the plan that they choose. So Mary wasn't feeling well. She scheduled the doctor's office visit. During her visit, the doctor ordered some labs. Remember, the plan pays fixed benefits regardless of what the actual cost is. So we'll take a look at this office visit. So what you'll see is the office visit was $140. Mary used an in-network provider, which created an immediate $48.54 discount. So not one of our top tier discounts, because our discounts average 58%. So she didn't use the above average or below average pricing for this service that she had. And so once we did the network repricing, the final end cost was $91.46, and the Health Protector Guard plan paid out $100. Now that lab test was $30. In-network got a repricing of $14.61, so it left the lab back to a $15.39 out of pocket. However, the Health Protector Guard plan was to pay out $50. So now what you're going to see is Health Protector Guard, we have ID cards with it. We ask that the consumer provides their ID cards at the time of service. That allows for us to help the client with the network repricing and then only put out the expenses that the consumer needs to pay. So once she provided her ID card at time of service, we also then pay to the providers or facilities first, unless the consumer reallocates their assignment of benefits. But by default, we will always pay providers and facilities first to pay off their debt. So what happened here is her final charges were $106. So we paid to the provider $106. There was a $43.15 overage. So with that $43.15 was sent to Mary via check. Once the client gets a check in the mail, they can use that money however they see fit. Oftentimes, brokers will call me saying their client got a check in the mail and they feel like we did something wrong. No, if they get a check in the mail, they are safe to cash it and use it how they see fit if we are paying their providers for them. Here's another fictional client, but true claims example for a client on Preferred 3. So highest level of works, but not the highest level of critical medical services. Jeremy was admitted to the emergency room for an illness, confined to the hospital for 6 nights. You're going to see the cost for the emergency room, almost $1,400. Network repricing brought it down to $862. The Health Protector Guard plan pays out $500. So there's $362 left for patient responsibility. Then the hospital admission, room and board, almost $20,000, repriced down by a network repricing of $7,500, leaving that total cost left at just over $12,000. But the Health Protector Guard plan he's on, paid out $21,000. And then lastly, other medical services that were rendered totaled just over $4,000, discounted down about $1,600, leaving the customer with $6,200 in out-of-pocket. So the Health Protector Guard didn't have any payout for that service, so that would be completely the client's responsibility. So now looking at the totals of treatment, $25,000, discounted down just over $9,000, leaving the customer with $15,700. The plan Health Protector Guard has to pay out $21,500. Well, we only owe the providers $12,244 for the hospital room and board, and then $500 for the emergency room. So that's what actually pays out. We pay out the room and board balance, and we pay out the amount to the emergency room, $500. Now, after that, there is just almost $8,800 that needs to be paid out to the member. So we'll pay that member $8,800. We would hope that the customer would use that $8,800 to pay their responsibility left from the emergency room and their responsibility for the other miscellaneous charges, so a total of $3,000. Then anything above and beyond that, the client can use that money however they see fit, right? Maybe it is some loss of income because they were off of work, right? He was in the hospital for 6 nights, so likely off of work, might need it for some income replacement. Now, when leveraging these Health Protector Guard plans, as I mentioned earlier, highly recommend critical illness and accident kind of wrapped around it just for the best protection we possibly can get to. So I wanted to share with you a case study. So last week, when I was putting this deck together, I already got to see the 2025 ACA plan options. So I went and looked for a 45-year-old male in Cincinnati, Ohio, and the lowest ACA plan that I found was Oscar. It was an HMO network, $7,500 deductible, $9,200 out of pocket, $372. It had a little bit of a tax credit for this individual making $65,000 a year. I went to Health Protector Guard, grabbed the richest plan, Premier 3, which uses the PPO network nationwide, zero deductible. That plan, you'll see, is less than, almost $100 less than ACA. However, for the greater protection, again, recommending that accident and critical illness, accident is a cash up to plan. So I grabbed a $20,000 accident plan to wrap around it, $47 a month. And then critical illness, this will be for cancer, heart attack, stroke, coma, end-stage renal failure, ALS, Alzheimer's. There's so many more conditions. Cash that pays out to the client. This was $75,000. So for approximately $69 extra a month, I was able to put this entire package together. Richest Health Protector Guard plan, PPO network nationwide, with $20,000 additional cash for an accident, $75,000 additional cash for a critical illness, all while being only $30 more than that original ACA option. Now, if you were to look at broker compensation, right, ACA is typically $20, $25 a month per member. And so for this single individual, it would be no more than, say, $300 a year in commissions. Now, if you look at Health Protector Guard, blended commission averages, you'd be looking at $100 a month commissions. The accident, $16 a month commissions, and the critical illness, $41 a month commission. So when you add that all together, almost $160 a month commissions. Yearly, instead of $300 on the ACA, you're almost at $1,900 a year in commissions. Not to mention that these three plans, Health Protector Guard, accident, critical illness, are part of our current bonus program today. So some additional takeaways just to kind of share with you the average per member per month pricing. Remember, choice one was the product that was sold the best alongside of ACA, averages $95 a month per member per month. And then Premier 3, which is the richest plan, those that are not having access to ACA as a bestseller, $232 is the average per member per month premium. So this just gives you an idea of those four plan options for critical medical services, and then the works levels 1, 2, and 3, where that average premium lies. Now, once the client has the Health Protector Guard plan in place, they're going to get a ton of information from us, and that's because we want them to completely understand how to use their plan, helpful information. We're just as invested as you are in their satisfaction. But really the big win is having an ID card with United Healthcare on it, right? The United Healthcare ID card provided at time of service. It'll help to get them that network repricing, and they also get the Optum Perks prescription discount as well. So next steps, I always recommend, while it's fresh in your mind, quickly jump into your broker portal, uhone.com/broker. Jump out there and do a quote real quickly. See what it is in your area for your average type of clientele that you're dealing with. If you need to get access to the product brochures, jump out here and grab that brochure, because the product grids we shared today might have been small for you to see on the screen. You'll also see a webinar, pre-recorded webinar on every single product that we have. So if you wanted to kind of refresh, you could jump out here and take that webinar for you. And then, as I mentioned too, take advantage of the current bonus opportunity. So the current bonus that we have going on goes through December 31st. And the Health Protector Guard, accident, and critical illness, those three yellow arrows, those are the three products that we wrapped in that bundle. If you do that, you're going to get an additional $200 in bonus dollars on top of commissions, as long as the client is paying their premiums via EFT. Unfortunately, clients don't stay on the books very long when they're utilizing credit cards. So that's why you're going to see credit card. We really don't have a lot of bonus opportunities for you as a broker. I truly encourage EFT payment. What happens is credit card, they fall off the books too quickly, and that then equates into a lapsed policy, and you as a broker no longer receiving commissions. So if you want to keep your clients on the books longer, receiving commissions longer, you'll want to use EFT. You'll see our baseline for this incentive is 20 minimum applications before we pay you out to app number 1. However, if you were to sell these 3 plans to one client, you already have 3 applications to that 20 baseline, right? It's not per client, it's by applications or by policies per se. Now, I want to also, because we are in open enrollment, talk about ancillary products alongside of ACA. That is so important. The biggest ancillary product that we sell alongside of ACA is dental. And be careful though, some ACA plans do have adult dental and vision in them. If they do not, this is the product I would recommend taking a look at. You're going to see we have dental products in 43 states, really easy to use and understand. So dental obviously is guarantee issued. It works in the under and over 65 market. No application fees. The big win is no wait periods. No wait periods on your preventive, basic, or major services. The only thing that we do have a wait period on is implants, and it's not on all plans. So if you're looking for implants coverage, make sure you're choosing the plans that have that. But again, that would be the only wait period is implants. They're PPO plans, so they can see any provider they desire. And then we do have the ability for brokers to submit applications on behalf of consumers for every product that we sell. It basically allows for you to do the quote, complete the application, you enter the client's payment information, and you submit that application. It allows for you not to lose sight of the sale. It should take any tech-savvy individual no more than 5 to 7 minutes to do the quote, application, and submit. The products are renewable for life, the dental, and we allow consumers to have any effective date of the month. Yes, it can be the 1st, the 15th, the 30th, but it could also be, if they wanted to apply today, it could be tomorrow as their effective date. Now, we do have a couple different options. We have dental only, and that's dental wise. So you're going to see dental only. We have a basic plan, plan 1000, and plan 2000. 1000 annual max on basic, 1000 on plan 1000, and 2000 on plan 2000 as their annual max benefit. Now, oftentimes brokers will call me and say, what is the difference between these 3 dental plans? And that's where I have those orange boxes to show you the only differentiators between these 3 plans, because all of them are identical when you look at deductible, $100 per person per year. Preventive services, day 1, 100% coverage, no deductible. Basic services, day 1, 60% coverage. Years 2 and beyond is 80% coverage. Now, major services, you'll know that basic plan, you'll see it does not cover major services. Basic plan is really sold to those low-income individuals, really just focusing on their preventive and basic services. Now, your plan 1000 and plan 2000 does have your major services. Again, no wait period. Day 1, 15% coinsurance, and then years 2 and beyond, 50%, 50-50 coinsurance split. Now, the only plan here that covers implants is the Plan 2000. So you'll see the implants on Plan 2000. It does have that 1-year wait. After the 1-year wait, it's a 50-50 coinsurance split with a $1,500 lifetime maximum. Now, really our best sellers in the dental portfolio is DVH. So DVH is the DentalWise Max. Same thing here as we just went over. These plans cover the deductible, preventive, and basic services all the same, nothing different. You're going to see the plan 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. That just correlates into their annual max benefit, right? So plan 1,000, 1,000 annual max, 2,000, 2,000 annual max, 3,000, 3,000 annual max. So our highest we can get to is a 3,000 annual max benefit. Again, deductible, preventive, basic, all the same. All three plans here will cover the major services. Day one, 15%, and years 2 and beyond, 50-50 coinsurance split. And then the only plans here that cover dental implants is the Plan 2000 and Plan 3000. So you'll see that down here, implants. This is right out of your product brochure as well. It is a 1-year wait. After the 1-year wait, it's a 50-50 coinsurance split with a $1,500 lifetime maximum. Being DVH, we do have to pull in the vision and hearing. So vision, you're going to see in and out of network, right? Because these are PPO plans, how that pays out. In network, they're going to get 100% coverage for their exam. They'll also get $150 every single year for their frames and a $10 copay for their lenses. In addition to their exam, frames, and lenses, in addition, they are also getting contacts every year. So it's frames, lenses, and contacts every single year. No wait periods. The contacts have a $10 copay up to a $150 allowance. And then your hearing, you'll see at the bottom, this is the only one they have to use our network for. They have to use the hearing network, Epic Hearing we use to get their hearing exam covered 100%. And then day one, they have a $750 allowance for their hearing aids, and that's an every 2-year allowance. So every 2 years, they'll get $750 allowance. Using Epic Hearing, we have some significant repricings on hearing aids, and this also works for over-the-counter hearing aids. Again, these dental plans are PPO plans. So in and out of network, when they go out of network, we're going to cap it at MAC, maximum allowable cost. Now, there are times in very rural areas that you're going to see the word plus behind the plan name. So maybe it will say Plan 3000 and the word plus trailing it. That just means that we felt that our network was not as strong for the consumer in the area. Therefore, when they do go out of network, we will then pay their services at the 85th percentile of usual and customary. I also want to take a quick moment, since we are in open enrollment, to talk about a couple other ancillary products alongside of ACA. And that's because all too often with ACA, we quickly cover that dental and or vision, but we forget about the maximum out-of-pockets that ACA has. So for an individual in 2025, it's $9,200, while a family is facing $18,400. The lower metal tiers have higher cost sharings for major events like surgeries, hospitalizations, emergency rooms, and some plans, like we talked about, don't even cover the dental and vision. So we want to make sure we're getting their dental and vision, but we also want to protect them from this out-of-pocket exposure. United Healthcare has the ancillary suite to help you. We have ancillary products in 47 states, over 20 plans available. With so many plans available, you should have your stock 3 to 4 go-to plans, right? Like one DVH product, one accident, one critical illness, one hospital. Just find your favorites. And to help you, I've listed the best sellers in light blue under each one of these product classes that you can focus in on. We won't go through all of these plans today. I just wanted to bring awareness that we do have the things to help you. The beauty is United Healthcare has ACA products. We also have ancillary products with the United Healthcare brand. So you can brand someone ACA and ancillary all at the same time, but these are standalone. So the clients can have ACA with other coverage, and then come to United Healthcare for ancillary products. It's important to point out, though, that all 6 product classes have guarantee issue options available, so they work great alongside of ACA consumers. And then the other thing to point out is there is no Social Security number or ITIN number needed for consumers on these products. So take a snip of this screen. You can earn extra cash by selling ancillary alongside of ACA. Here's just a quick example to show you the lifetime value commissions, right? ACA, if we were to use $25 per member per month, that's $300 a year in commissions. If you were to just add dental and accident alongside of that ACA plan, you are now bringing in an additional $364. So you're increasing your income by 121% by just adding 2 ancillary products to that ACA plan. Our best cross-selling agencies average a 2.6 to 2.8 ancillary cross-sell ratio. So 2 to every ACA is very doable. It's absolutely achievable. So as you're providing a solution to your client with that high out-of-pocket they might have on the ACA plan, you as a broker are making more money. I hear brokers asking me all the time how they can make more money, and it's right here. It's cross-selling. It's not marketing initiatives to get new clients. It's using the same clients you already have and fill the gaps in their ACA plan. I just wanted to show you how quick and easy that can be and how inexpensive that can be. I always say transfer risks away from your client for peace of mind. So you'll see, would the client rather $9,200 in ACA out of pocket, or would they rather pay $186 a year for a $10,000 accident plan? To me, it's a no-brainer when I point it out this way. That is so inexpensive, $1,550 a month. So a year they're paying us $186 for a $10,000 accident plan. They use this plan one time. For urgent care accident, we're going to pay out $200 cash. They already covered their premium. Anything that they use the plan above and beyond, say one urgent care for an accident in a year, is a complete win. The other one to point out real quickly how inexpensive it can be alongside of ACA is a $10,000 critical illness plan. So $10,000, $13 a month. I don't know, if a cancer, heart attack, stroke were to happen to me, I would rather pay $155 a year in premium versus $9,200 in ACA out of pocket. So just wanted to share with you how inexpensive it is to protect your clients from ACA out of pocket and how much you can make in addition to that to your ACA commissions. So with that, I just want to thank you, wish you sales success. Don't forget to protect your clients from their out-of-pocket risks. And let's not forget Health Protector Guard as another potential option for consumers during this open enrollment period. So with that, I want to kick it back to Brad or Jeff to see if they had any questions that we wanted to go ahead and discuss before we close.
Yeah, well done, Bobbi Jo. Take a drink of water, maybe a breath. No, really appreciate. I mean, guys, what I want to tell you is working with Bobbi Jo, she is a wealth of knowledge. And the one thing she said there at the end, and everybody asks, right? I want more clients. So I had a broker and his father, and his father used to tell him to go to the file cabinet, which he called the slot machine, right? So you already, the money is already put in there. Now you just go open up the file cabinet and go through your clients and then add more things to them, like Bobbi Jo said. So really great. Bobbi Jo, a couple of questions that came to mind.
Sure.
So on the DVH product,
Mhm.
that was glasses and contacts both in 1 year, right?
Correct.
So for the
Glasses and
guy used to
contacts
be,
every single
yeah,
year, no wait
yeah,
periods.
yeah, that's amazing because
Mhm.
the guy I used to be before I got those eyes fixed was glasses in the morning, contact lenses in the afternoon, and it was sometimes hard to, alternate year, every other year for each of those. So that's really great. And then this might be a stupid question, but so if United Healthcare were to pay out $75,000 like you thought or like you mentioned, is that taxable or is it like most insurance where it's like receiving a well, not a dividend. I can't imagine it's taxable because that would be, what, stump Bobbi Jo? No,
Yeah, I don't think that would be, I could double
a
check,
I don't.
benefit.
but I do not
I,
believe that it would be taxable monies. It's
yeah.
monies that
Okay.
are paid out through their health plan.
Yeah.
Just like if it was cash paid out for our lump sum accident plans, our cash that pays out from our critical illness plans, it's tax-free money.
Yeah. Usually anything insurance, that's why people sell life insurance plans as a part of an investment package, right? Because
Yeah.
it avoids probate. So that's awesome. Jeff, I
Yeah.
didn't see any questions lighting up, but I was
Yeah.
also entranced by Bobbi Jo's presentation, just trying to catch
Great
it all.
job. I mean, selling the
Yeah,
need is so critical, and reframing that argument a little bit, like she did. You know, transfer the risk to UHC as opposed to you. That was a really great black and white description
yeah.
on selling the need for that. And um, think about it. On the Medicare side, we sell Medicare Part A and Part B and Med Sups. So we should be doing the same thing on the ACA side.
Well, we don't
So
technically sell the A and B. That's the federal government. But
well,
anyway, um, um, so stuck on it. There was another question. Bobbi Jo, are you able or allowed to share some part of the presentation in the PDF with us?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and get
Especially
it
where
over
the
to you.
grids. Okay, that's terrific because that was
Yeah.
really nice and concise and easy for somebody to follow
Yeah, for
and
sure.
reread. That's awesome. Jeff, did you see any questions come up in chat? I
let me
didn't
get
even
rid
look
of this.
seriously.
At this time, I
No.
don't see any
Yeah.
that came up, but by all means, you're welcome to email Brad or myself or Bobby Joe later, and we'll address those in real time. And everybody's super busy. I can understand it. They're doing a million and one things right now, but
'Tis
All
the
right.
season, right? But make the best of
tis
it,
the
right?
season.
This is the
Absolutely.
time that you should make the best of your opportunity is be sure to protect them, not just medically, but also the ancillary products as well. So do the best that you can during this busy season and wish everybody sales success.
Thanks, Bobby Joe. You too. We'll be
Mhm.
talking to you soon, I'm sure.
Sounds good. Thank you
Fantastic.
All right.
guys. You
You
have a
got it.
great
Thanks.
day.
See you.
Everybody
You
have a great
too.
day.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Take care,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Bye.
Thank you.